Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Tony Talks and Get Up and Grow, where I have conversations with inspirational leaders, influencers, and change makers, people that aren't just doing well in life, but are doing good in the world by contributing back. And by contributing back, I mean in a myriad of different ways, whether it be financial, but really predominantly by giving back of their time and sharing their knowledge with those who need it. So today I have the distinct pleasure of having not just the Brian Bradley on of Egoscue, but two of the powerful women that are part of his fantastic organization. It's Jessalyn and Sally. Bring them on in a second, but they're obviously all with Egoscue, all helping you and me and all of us live a better, healthier, happier life, pain-free. So with that said, I'm going to get this party started. So there they are. It's Brian and Jessalyn and Sally. Hi, everybody. Welcome to this episode of Tony Talks. How's everybody doing today?
Doing great.
Hey, Tony. Thanks for having us.
Hey,
I'm Brian.
You're not Brian. You're the Brian. The Brian Bradley, not the Brian Bradley. The Brian Bradley. So everybody already knows Brian is the stud from San Diego. And Jessalyn, tell us where you are calling in from, and of course, then Sally as well. And tell us a little bit about both of you and what you do, who you are, and what we're doing here.
Sure. Thanks for having me. I'm Jessalyn, and I'm one of the owners of the Egoscue, Florida. So I'm located down in Palm Beach Gardens, and I'm here because I'm one of the women owners for Egoscue and mom. So we wanted to talk about being a mom, being in business, and dealing with life and work.
Awesome. Thank you, Jessalyn, for taking the time to be here with us today. And Sally, I think we had the pleasure of meeting your fantastic husband a couple of weeks ago, Calvin. So tell us a little bit about you, Sally.
So we're in Atlanta, Georgia. So we run the franchise here in Georgia, and originally from Augusta, Georgia. So I moved up here about 15 years ago because of Egoscue. So totally changed my life, and I'll be doing that forever. But Calvin and I run the franchise. We've been doing that for 9 years now. Been with the company for 15, but franchise owner for 9. And we have 2 kids, a 6-year-old and a 4-year-old. And Brian, go ahead, cut in.
No, but just a quick question. When you say 9, do you mean 9? Okay, just to make sure.
Well, I almost didn't recognize the New York accent.
It's not Atlanta. It's the Augusta drawl for sure.
Tell us about your kids.
So no, and I'm just glad to be here and just share about Egoscue. And yes, I'm glad I'm here with Jess as well and with Brian. They're just a great support system and have become great friends over the years. So it's been fun. It's been a journey, and we're here just to encourage people today.
That's amazing. You know, one of the things that we're going to be talking about today is powerful women in business. And I appreciate both of you. I mean, look, there's so many powerful women around me in my life. And certainly more getting, I'm meeting more and more every time, which is fantastic. But my wife is certainly one of those powerful women as well. So again, I love that, that we're having this conversation today. I think it's so important to talk about business and talk about how we can manage family and business and work life and our relationship and everything else. Now, when I say balance, there's a semblance of balance. There's unfortunately never any true balance, which is okay, because if everything was perfectly balanced, it'd be a boring ride, right? Always the same thing. So life does keep itself interesting for sure. But one of the things that is important to talk about is business and where we are in today's world, and how it's so important for business owners and women owned businesses and minority owned businesses and different businesses to continue to open up, and for everyone to support those small businesses, because the small businesses are the backbone of this country. It is the middle class that we need, and that we need to continue to strengthen and keep strong, because that's something that's kind of being torn apart a little bit. So again, I appreciate you ladies being on here. And so, yeah, let's talk a little bit about what you guys do and how you do it.
Okay. I guess I'll get going first, Sally.
Let's do it.
I think obviously when it comes to women in business right now, as a mom, personally, I am thinking my family first. With everything that's going on in life, I'm really putting my family first and trying to make sure that they're safe. And then obviously our employees are safe. And then we're going to be working on, generating traction in our business and kind of moving forward. And we're recreating ourselves that way. And Egoscue itself, we moved all of our clients to virtual, and then we're now allowing some of them to come back in when it's safe for them to come back in. So really, for me, it's all about family, then business, and then move forward as a whole, as a society.
Fantastic. And Sally, tell us a little bit about your journey and your experience and what you're doing and how you're coping with the current situation. Obviously, Florida is now the new hotbed. It went from New Jersey, New York, down to Florida and Texas and Arizona and other places. I don't know how you guys are faring in Georgia, but how are you dealing with this and working your way through it?
Yeah, it's been quite a journey. It's been a challenging one, but just like Jess said, you really do have to look at, what are your priorities? Obviously, our business is a big priority. It's like another one of our children that we have to take care of. But the first thing is, how are you mentally? How are you spiritually? How are you taking care of your family? So you then can serve others. And so we can keep our business growing. I've learned over the years when you do put a lot of energy into your business, and if things aren't, where they need to be, of taking care of yourself and taking care of your family, business is great, but you're still talking about that balance. We really have to find that balance in your life, and I do believe it starts at home. And as a mother, it can be challenging, but it's totally worth it. You figure out how to adapt. You figure out how to communicate differently with your husband. You find out how to communicate differently with your kids, your relationships that you have, and your clients. So everything that's been going on. I think it's been a journey and maybe a challenge for a lot of people. But if you're able to get over that, and when you do get over that, starting kind of at your home base, the rest kind of works itself out. So we've been very fortunate to continue to move through this successfully.
Well, certainly communication is really the key in any relationship, in any business. And I know that one of the things I know that Egoscue is reinventing itself in the way it's doing things and going digital and really taking advantage of this time to pivot, because it's so important, in any business to have the power to pivot. We all have the power to pivot. We all have the power to kind of see what's happening, and then we can either choose to cower and stay back and just wait and hope. And as a friend of mine says, have the get high on the hopium, right? But that's not a strategy, right? Hope is not a strategy. You've got to really look outside the box and see and learn different things on how to do things in a different way, which I know that you guys are doing by going digital. Fortunately, you already had the platform where you did a lot of the digital menus, right? Menus, yeah, digital menus and the digital delivery of your product. And again, that's so important. And it starts with leadership. So I know that Brian is definitely one of those guys at the head of that and staying at the forefront of tech to be able to make the impact that we can make and keep business going, right? Keep business not just going, not just surviving, but thriving. And in today's world, to be honest with you guys are probably needed more than ever. And I say that with a chuckle because we're all at our computers, because that's all we're doing. And we're not really exercising. We're not really moving. And that's something that Brian and I have spoken about over the course of the last couple of weeks. And is about, people haven't really been moving, even though, Brian, I miss you, man, because we haven't really done one of these in 3 weeks. So
we had to get rescheduled, but I know you had that training course. But
yeah, well, there was a 2 week. I took a full 2 week break from doing the show. So I'm actually this is the third show since we started doing it again. Let me put these on. I can see you guys better. There you go. Hey, now you can see what you guys look like.
Well, I will tell you, the get high on the hopium, I will absolutely be dropping that left and right. I will say the other TR told me that, which is you, because you're the other Tony Rodriguez, the other TR. But I will tell you, like, these two young ladies who are on the phone, and I can say this, that young meaning that I'm the old guy here. I've been around them a long time, and I know their families, I know their husbands, I know their kids, I've watched their kids. You want to talk about some of the most undisciplined children you've ever seen in your life. But it's no.
That's fine.
Yeah, that's Jess. Family rules like the queen. Okay, God, she'll crack it and they'll do what they say. So what I'm saying is when you look at, I would say they would agree with this too. We could have talked to Billy Cattermole. We could have talked to Emily. We could have talked to, we could have talked to Tim George's employees. And there are females within this company that are just killers. And what I mean by that is a good business analogy, where when we started talking about our change in leadership, our change in the COVID-19 hitting, I can tell you right now, I thought this thing was a flat out global killer, and this company that I've been trying to push for 30 years of my life was just going to do this. And I'm like, oh, hell no. We got to get going. We got to get going. And I think these two will attest that everybody just came together. And that was because we didn't have an underlying condition before that, Tony. You know what I mean? We didn't have an underlying condition of, like each other, that kind of stuff. It was all, I'm going to call you out on your BS if there's BS.
Right.
I did a talk the other day, and I don't know, Sally or Jess, if you were on there, about the biomechanics talk on Wednesday.
Yeah.
And the cool part is that I got feedback from it later, like, oh my God, unbelievable topics. Paul was talking about this and the way you guys brought in biomechanics. And I said, yep, I told Paul, keep going, baby, keep going, because this stuff was good. But then I got real feedback after that, which was, there's a lot of bigwigs on this call. Like a lot of the younger therapists are afraid to speak up. And you guys have employees, business partners, colleagues that you work with who are of a younger generation, who I'm not saying they are, but you could classify this new generation as a little snowflakey, where everything can't hurt their feelings and stuff like that. Hey, remember the old guy, I got the gray to say it. Old guys say stuff like that. But I've had to change.
I'll agree with that. You are the old guy on the call. I'm just giving you validation, by the way, but go ahead.
Well, it's true, but my son's 18, his friends, you have to word things differently to them. And you have to get them to understand, I'm not here to criticize you. I'm really not. That does me no good, especially if you go on the defensive. What I am here to tell you is that you might be in a place where you're stepping in your own way. And until you move out of your own way, Anil said this, and Tony, you brought this to his attention. When you get out of your own way, the right person shows up in front of you, and he's the relationship guy. So, these two young ladies are handling relationships from kids to their older kid in the house, which is their husband, and then all of the employees and stuff like that. So I would like to hear what your thoughts are. I haven't prefaced this before, so you can tell me we suck. But I want to know what you think about where and what type of advice could you give to people who have, especially women at home, who are trying to juggle careers, trying to support their husband on his career if they're not involved in it from a actual business end. What would you guys recommend, or what have you found?
You want to go first this time, Sally?
You can take it, Jess.
Tony,
Okay.
Good.
I'm going to talk for the group, so no shock. I personally, my suggestion for ladies is to make sure they're taking care of themselves. That we cannot take care of our families, our businesses, any of that until we create a space for ourselves. Obviously, Tony, we follow the other Tony. We want to make our state every day, like change our state. This situation that we're put in when it comes to COVID and life, and if you have kids, you're thinking about school, what's happening next, you got to make sure that you're in the peak state every morning. So for us, or for myself, and I know Sally's probably too, we got to do our menu. We got to create our bodies to be in the best position to go forward and really be able to take hold of what's going on next in the day. So personally, you make space for yourself. You make that 10, 15 minute, 20 commitment to make sure that you're in the right mind frame, right place for your family. And then when you're there, like Sally said before, everything else is going to fall in line. Your mind's going to be focused. Your body's going to be on point. Then you can take hold of everything else and kind of make sure you're ready for your day. So that's going to be my suggestion.
Fantastic. And Sally, what's your take on that?
I totally agree with Jess. I mean, this is a part of our lives as far as, Egoscue and what it does for you. So, as a working mother and a business owner, all that jazz, and trying to take care of your family at work, we have a great team at Egoscue of Atlanta, and, it's my job to make sure they're taken care of as well. So when you are taking that 10 or 15 minutes for yourself, everything else does fall into place, but you've got to do that. And that's the hard part. You have to actually take action, because we all want to do it. We say it and we kind of run ourselves up with our energy. But when you do finally take that time for yourself and being present with yourself, and making sure you can give and serve to other people without totally taking yourself over the line, then, that's huge. So just discipline in that. And, for us, we've done it as a family, doing bear crawls with the kids, or doing one of Pete Egoscue's Cinema videos online that just takes 10 or 15 minutes to get the family going and to get yourself in a new place. Your mindset is everything. And even when it's tough that day and you don't want to do it, once you do it, you totally change your physiology, and it puts you in a place where you can serve others. And I think that's crucial.
Yeah, I think it's so important, this is something that I feel like I'm preaching all the time, is that self-care is not selfish. Self-care is essential. Self-care is essential, because if you don't take care of yourself and you're not in the position to be able to help, then who's going to suffer? It's not just you, it's your family. One of the things that I equate, and I kind of take one idea and I put it to the other, they talk about, when they talk about anger and hate, and it's like you're holding a piece of coal waiting to throw it at your enemy. And I know that this is completely left field, but I want to, what I add to that is that while that's true and everything else, but again, not having that conversation, is they say, well, the only one you're hurting is yourself. Well, that's not true, right? That's not true at all. Mm-hmm. And this is where I'm going to bring in the pain, because now you're hurting yourself and you're in pain. And this is what I tell people when on that side of it, but I'm going to tie it into Egoscue. You're in pain. But when you're in pain, how are you showing up for your clients? How are you showing up for your family? How are you showing up for your spouse, for your children? You're short, right? You're short fused. You lose your temper. You lose your cool. You yell. You're angry. You're in pain. Same thing when your body is not right, and when your body's in pain and you're disjointed. Whenever I'm in pain, listen, Brian, have you ever gotten the man flu? Dude, the man flu is like the worst, right?
It is for us too.
You guys don't understand. It's so much worse. It's actually a thing. It's man flu. They really got to come up with a different medication, because we got to take something stronger than what you ladies take. It's
true. It's actually much, much worse than the menstrual cycle. I'll turn a hashtag for that.
You're going to get a hashtag for that. No, but all kidding aside, that's funny. But all kidding aside, when you're in pain and you're not taking care of yourself and your back hurts or your knee hurts, you cannot show up the way you need to show up for your family. You cannot show up the way you need to show up in your business for your clients, right? So it's essential. Everyone that's out there, men, women, everyone, whether you're in business or you're not in business, whether you're just, listen, if you're breathing and you deal with other human beings, you've got to take care of yourself, because when you're in pain, you automatically lash out. You automatically, you're just not in a comfortable place. So you're automatically going to be like angry. So take care of yourself. It's so vitally important. And anybody that says, well, that's selfish, you know what? Bullshit. It's not selfish. It's actually probably more selfish not to take care of yourself, because you're actually depriving the people that really matter. They're counting on you, because there's people out there counting on you and you and you and me. They're waiting on us. They're expecting us. They need us. So we have to be on our A game. So that's why I love Egoscue, and I love, listen, that static back has become like my best friend. I'm like on my back all the time, and stretching, and there's so many different things that I'm now incorporating into my life on a regular basis. And I honestly owe it to Brian and to you guys. So yeah, vitally important. Take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. Anybody who tells you different, don't listen to them.
I agree. And it's, listen, something almost set me off. Like I didn't see who wrote it, but on the public comments, it says, that Sally lady is cute. Is she married? And then I looked up and I saw that it was Calvin. I'm like,
okay, good.
I'm going to have to kick some ass here in a second.
There it is. That Sally lady's cute.
Yeah. Brian, you are a big brother. Thank you for stepping up. Thank you.
That was the call. I'm like this. I must not have done my exercises this morning because my hair went straight up like this. I'm like, seriously, dude? I'm like, and then I like, oh, okay, it's her husband. We're good.
I don't even know if my husband knows how to get on this.
Plug it in, hit the button.
Hey, but Tony, I'm glad you mentioned that because, a lot of women do feel like that is selfish.
Yeah.
And I feel like before, when you do have a family to take care of and things are never ending, they're never stopping, and you go take time for yourself, you do feel, and then in the beginning when you feel like, man, that is selfish, but it's not, it's really not, like, because then it's about stressing about something or procrastinating. Just do it. Then you don't worry about for the next 10 hours, right? But if we procrastinate, we're worried about something for the rest of the day. So I think that's just a huge point for everybody, not just women, but what are we doing to take care of ourselves? And in our society, that's a necessity, that we need to do that, and that you feel better doing that so you can be better for yourself and better for others. So
important. Yes, Brian, the gentleman in the corner.
Thank you. I just have a question because it's just us girls, so I'm just going to ask this. So you have no idea how true that is for me. Like I have more feminine products and I sit down to pee and all. I get it. Us girls. I was raised by 3 sisters. I get it. So let's switch gears for a second here because how society, and these guys have lit me up on this before in regards to like workouts, what you eat, how you keep your body where you want it, without judging it, without over stressing about it. You gave birth to 2 kids and 3 kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
How did you get your body back to a place where you thought, this is where I like my body? How did you get it to where it is now? What do you do? I don't even care if it's, drugs and alcohol, but let's just be honest about it. I know it's not, but how are you getting it there? Because if it were me and I was a chick and I'm going, boy, I wish I looked like these two after giving birth to 2 and 3 kids, and my body went like this. Like, what's different? What did you do to control your hormones to get that reaction, your lymphatic system, all that?
You want to go, Jess?
Of course. That's me first. I think when it came to having kids and thinking about my body, what was going to happen during and after it, I really, I took care of myself the year before I got pregnant. I made sure that I did my menu. I wasn't so concerned about the eating and the diet because I feel like the scale is a misconception that we all want to be a certain weight. I went more how I felt in my clothes, how I felt about myself, and really worked on some self care for that. But really, I did my Egoscue because I knew that the body takes a toll during pregnancy. I've carried 3 children. I've delivered 3 naturally, so that's no drugs. And I loved every second of it. And I think and know in my heart is because I took care of my body and made sure that if I was out of alignment, I got it back into alignment. And now I work about my alignment and know the weight is not something that you should ever stress about, but I know that in society we do that. So I've worked more on like self-care for that mentally.
Awesome. And Sally.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, same thing. It was more of, we're just so fortunate to know about alignment and posture and how that affects our bodies. So, yeah, I wasn't really, I was concerned about my health and concerned about my child's health carrying a baby, but never so much about the weight part. So it was more about how I felt and to be at a healthy place and how you feel. I mean, I'm going to give props to Egoscue. I always will, because that's my passion, but it's, and I never had back pain with pregnancy. Like I never had pain, never had sciatic pain with that. So, keeping your body in a balanced state, as balanced as you can be, it just allowed for things to be to think about, okay, the health of my baby, not how much weight I've gained, even though that could be an issue for certain women, right? Everybody is different on the scale of things. So for me, it was more of a mental, emotional, okay, how's my body carrying this child to stay healthy? And, again, thankfully, this method, you're able to go work out. After pregnancy, you may not go straight to the gym, but you can do bear crawls at the house. You can do your menu. It's so specific for you. So when your body is more in check or in alignment, your body recovers faster from pregnancy. Your lymphatic system can keep going faster, so you can lose that baby weight or, help with the hormonal part. I'm not a doctor by any means, but getting your body in position and the way it was created and it's designed, your hormone level should be working a little bit more efficiently. So, I don't know what I would have done without Egoscue. I mean, to be quite frank, Egoscue and Pete Egoscue's Pain Free for Women allowed me to get pregnant better, right? So allow my body to be in the right position so things could happen in the right way. So that's been my take on it as far as taking care of you from the inside out.
So what are some of the exercises that you would recommend? Because obviously there's, just because COVID hit doesn't mean that people stopped having babies. My wife's a nurse. She's told me so. But obviously the world continues. What are some of your favorite exercises? And I know that this is kind of deviating from it, but still kind of in the same vein, because one of the things that I can tell you is, carrying that baby all the time in that car seat, and obviously guys do it as well, but seemingly not as much as certainly my wife probably carried my kids a lot more than I did. Never mind the 9 months that she carried them, but I'm talking about afterwards as well. What are some of the things that you would recommend some of the moms that are out there now? And I know that these things aren't just for moms; it's just everybody can benefit from them. But what are some of your favorite exercises that you can do that would alleviate some of that back pain, that shoulder pain, maybe some of that sciatic pain that maybe women and everyone, but women specifically are dealing with right now, or maybe where they're holding stress at a different level? What are some of your favorite exercises that you're doing now or you've done?
So Sally,
yeah,
what is your favorite exercise for you?
Static extension position or upper spinal cord twist.
Okay, so Tony, and we can do these in a second because both of those are, and we'll help you understand it because you've been in both. The one on your hands and knees where your head drops, shoulder blades together. The one where you open up the book like a book that's opening and twisting. But why are they both driven to stabilize at the pelvis and hip? Which you just heard two young ladies here say, I gave birth to 3, I gave birth to 2. I loved every minute of it. Yeah, and listen, labor's labor. I mean, that's why God gave it to you women, because there's no way in hell Tony and I could have handled the pain. No. We're a bunch of wussies. So ideally, you're so much stronger, but you also prepped for it. The sport of childbirth. It's childbirth is a sport. Train for it. Train your body before you go to the Olympics. And I'm sorry, but when you're getting ready to push a cantaloupe through your birth canal, that's the Olympics to me. So, what you guys did was nothing short of remarkable. And the cool part is that neither one of you freaked out. You both told the story. And I bet everybody on here, if they're listening to this, they're going to go, oh, they're really calm. They're just like, yeah, I just prepped for this and I did this. And I just knew that I was going to be doing. I mean, that's an amazing thing. So Jess, what would you look at as 1 or 2 exercises you go to?
Personally, I love arm circles and cats and dogs. Those are my 2 go-tos. I hold a lot of tension in my shoulders, so it kind of helps open that up.
So Tony, if we just listened to what they just said, and we were listening to, let's say this was we had between your Instagram, your Facebook, your StreamYard, all this kind of stuff, we have 20,000 people. All 20,000 people could essentially try arm circles, upper spinal, cats and dogs, static extension position. Say in that order.
Mhm.
And you come out of it and go, wow, I feel better. Or somebody might say, I'd rather start with the cats and dogs, then the upper spinal, then cats and dogs again. I mean, you can play with this kind of stuff because I'll be honest with you, Sally said it perfectly. No, we're just not doctors. You go to school for 4 years instead of 8. And either way, I think most of the years are useless. But when you look at this, you start saying to yourself, could we just see what the body organically could come out, how it could react to this and come out of it? And that's what I love about both of your explanations. It was kind of like this, just do something for yourself. And that's where I think that this is a very important conversation, because going back to business, in my opinion, neither one of you would be successful in business to the level you are now, and the business of motherhood, the business of wife, the business of female business owner, therapist, manager, runner. Well, you wouldn't be there without your mindset being in the place that it is, which is, okay, a shitty situation happens. You may get ramped up a little bit, but why did it happen? And I think that's one that's good for us. And I think you two can touch upon that too. And then we can go through some exercises on how we try to take a customer from hope to belief. Mm-hmm. Because there's a big hole in hope, and they're hoping for you to get them out. How would you guys respond to that? Like you on the psychological side, where do you help a customer? Where do you help yourself? Where do you help your kids?
I'd say it's more of, from learning this, you start to trust your body. I mean, I was an athlete and really didn't trust my body until I found out more about it, right? Of how it works or how important being in position is. Everybody talks about alignment and posture, but if you're not able to, that makes sense, but if you're not able to trust your body and to have certainty that, okay, I can get better and get over that hump. I mean, everything else it's not easy, but at least you have a way. You have that certainty in, I have a torn ACL. Brian, you've been through this before. I've torn it again, I think, chasing after my kids and couldn't walk for, 6 weeks. But this method allowed me to have a toolbox to go to and heal myself. Now, there's a time and place for MRIs and surgeries again, but for me, it wasn't. And I think that was it gave me so much confidence, like, whoa, I can go take care of myself and not having to spend, all this time and money away from my family. So I just think that's a huge point of, going through pregnancies. Jess and I, everybody gets a little scared, certain things, but you say, you know what, this is my body. I'm made to do this. And we have more conviction in that because we do know how our bodies work together. So that's been huge for me.
Sorry, before Jess, you go, to be clear, when you said when you've gone through pregnancies and you had to clarify Jess and you, are you assuming that Tony and I didn't?
We didn't carry. I don't know.
You were there.
We were there. We were there.
Well, a great support system.
I was going to say more of my why. Like for me, it came down to why is it so important that I needed to do my menu? Why did I want to take the ownership to do a natural birth for my children, for myself, and why do I continue to do my menu? The bigger why for most people is to me, the psychological point. I found my why with Egoscue. My why I did not want to have the drugs. I did not want to have that intervention that like Sally said, there's a time and place. And for some people, they need that during pregnancy because they're not able to do it all the way. But my why was I was scared. That is not something that I wanted to put into my body. I don't react well for anything past a Tylenol. So I knew that was not an option. So I needed to create the space. I'm lucky enough that I married into Egoscue. So, and Egoscue gave me all the tools to make sure that I had what I needed to take care of myself at that time.
That's awesome. That's awesome. It's awesome that there are those tools available and that those strategies are available and that we're making them available to everyone, right? That you guys are out there. And that's why I love doing this on every Saturday, because some days we have a lot more people, some days we have less, but inevitably there's always somebody that comes on and sends messages afterwards that says that they've started doing it. And, at this point, like I was telling Brian, I've already got it at egoscue.com/digital. I mean, I've already got the website. I've given it away to so many people already. But because I think it's so important, it's such a painless way of eliminating pain, for lack of a better way of saying it. It's such a great way of doing it. And everybody really needs to get on board and know about this. Right. Everybody needs to know about this. I know that Brian Bradley did a hell of a job. The Brian Bradley did a hell of a job like 2 weeks ago, showing up in front of a couple 100,000 people, which I know we're going to be doing this again this coming week. So, which, by the way, we're not going to have Saturday, by the way, because we're going to be a little tied up. So this coming Saturday will probably be a replay of the Brian Bradley show or Get Up and Grow with Brian Bradley.
You just remember the numbers he's dealing with is, only Tony Robbins would do a digital virtual UPW and sometimes triple his numbers, at least double them, than what he would get in person. And it's going to be such an amazing thing, especially from that studio that he built.
Yeah, 12 hours a day. That's going to be kind of intense. Again, I'm going to be one of the trainers on site website. So I don't know how that's going to go. I've heard 22,000, 23,000. I don't know if you've gotten a number yet, by the way.
Yeah, it's right around 22,500 to 23,000. But think of it this way. Let's say, how many other coaches are going to be on that call?
I don't know. They're probably trying to get all 150 trainers on board for sure.
Let's just say it's 150 people sitting in front of their computer looking for, notes. I'm going to kill myself. Notes. Thank you so much. I wish I could get more. They're going to be looking for these notes for hours like this, right?
I'm looking forward to it and not looking forward to it at the same time.
Yeah, but listen, buddy, you have interrupts. You've got to pass on some of the information maybe, or we do something prior to. And if you say, look, let's get the coaches together and we have to do something and say, here are 3 exercises to do every 2 hours to help you interrupt. And that's a simple thing, because service to the people that are on there, that's what creates the life-changing thing that we've all had in our own businesses, and to read some of the comments just of, forget about Brian Bradley doing that kind of stuff. I got lucky 30 years ago and ran into Pete Egoscue. And listen, I've always had a knack for loving the camera, and the camera loves me. Let's be honest. I'm just kidding about that. What I mean is, when you either can talk to the camera or you can talk to the people in the camera. And that's the interesting part to me, is I'm looking at it going, it's not the lens you're looking at, it's the people on the other side, and you better resonate with them. And that's the one thing that we know, that a lot of the people that'll be on the UPW this week as facilitators, they all are masters at that. And that's why, when you say, when somebody said to me the other day, they're like, wow, there was 380-some thousand people on that. And I said, oh, there were? You're literally speaking to one person. Now, this cool studio we're going to be shooting out of, you can see 3,000 to 5,000 people at once. So it's all around you. It looks like, it looks like the Matrix. Remember when Keanu was there and he had all the different screens yelling at himself and stuff like that? It's going to be like that. I've talked to Tony and Sage, and they're just so blessed and so stoked about this entire thing, especially Sage. She's interesting to talk to, because she's going, this is going to forever change the emotional reaction that can be done over virtual and digital. She said, I hope people feel it. I said, look, you already pulled that off during the 7-day. The comments coming up from the 7-day event, I don't know, Tony, if you read a lot of them, they were unbelievable. Yeah. They were unbelievable.
So are you flying down to Florida to do it out of the studio as well? Yeah. Oh, very cool. Okay, I didn't know if you were going to be in live or if you were going to be doing out of your in-home studio,
aka my garage. Master Code's flying down too, and I want to tell everybody, just be ready, because I will be posting some very interesting content of he and I coming together to play table tennis again.
Wow. Ping pong. Okay, gotcha.
What'd you call it?
I know it's a thing. No, table tennis.
Yep.
Oh, good. Listen, make sure somebody gets some video of that, would you?
Oh, we are.
Oh.
We are. Listen, this is a Master Co called me up. He goes, "Hey, are you going up?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm going." He goes, "Should I take my paddles?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, take them." He goes, "Good. I've been practicing for the last 5 months," and I'm like, I haven't picked up a paddle. Like,
you're two-handed against the wall of your garage right now. Every chance you get when you're not on camera, I got it.
well, and he won last time, 11-8 in the 5th out of best of 5. And don't get me wrong, I was not happy. You know, I love Master Co and what he does. Halfway through, I was coming back, and like all of a sudden, I'm surpassing him. He stops. Timeout. I'm like, "Oh, come on, you're not gonna psych me out, bro." And I'm like, I'm gonna crush you. And I'm talking smack. I'm like, "Whitey's coming. Here it comes. Let's go. Let's go." And he goes, and he starts to go through this thing, and I'm like, and then when you say he thinks he's gonna psych me out here, which really means he's already taking control of your mind.
All right. He's already in your head.
Yes.
The minute he stops and closes his eyes, you're like, "Oh, damn, is he using the violet light, the green light, the red light? God, what's he doing?"
Yes, I went back and watched The Mandalorian 7 times where the baby Yoda was doing this. And I'm like, is he doing this?
That's so good. That's so good. Oh, as a matter of fact, I gotta have him back on again too. It's always fun to have him on as well. By the way, actually, let me just say this. Maybe we'll go on and do a specific private live in the senior leader and trainer page with some of the exercises that you're talking about to be able to support, and maybe even on the crew page. Maybe we'll include the crew page to give everyone a little bit of support, because there's going to be crew. There's going to be,
if I'm not available to do it, I know these two have nothing else going on. They'll gladly take it over.
No kids, no problems.
no kids, no husband, no worries.
No worries.
But no, it'd be great to have something maybe tomorrow or whenever you have a little bit of time, just to come on and do a segment, and we'll just put it in the private. We'll do it privately just for crew, senior leaders, and trainers for the Tony community, or maybe we'll just, we'll figure it out. So what else? What else?
How about the exercises?
The exercise, yes.
Ladies, are you in a position where you could show some stuff or no?
Well, you're going to see my living room for sure.
That's the reality of this.
That's the reality.
The cool
You have
part.
to clean the floors before this, okay?
Yeah, I'm good prep for that.
On this thing's going like this. Oh, I went to the bathroom over there. Whereas you guys are like, clean the floors, and the guys are like, why?
Yeah, these guys, by the way, Brian has beat me up multiple times digitally. So has who else? Greg beat me up once. I don't know. I don't think Calvin did, because we didn't do exercises on that one call.
Nope.
But,
I don't think ours are too bad. They won't beat you up.
no.
But if we could show you don't even have to show arm circles because that's on every other thing we do. But if you could show them static extension position, upper spinal cats and dogs, and kind of explain. Remember how when we were in the training and we went static extension was 1, 2, 3 of the pelvis as the reactor, versus cats and dogs is action at the pelvis first, mid back is second as a reaction, head is third as the reaction. So it's the reverse, same position, going after the same cause.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Are we going to go through those?
All right. So who's going to lead? I'm going to put you on screen. Whoever's going to lead. Sally, Jacqueline.
Yeah.
Do you want to lead, Sally, and I'll turn my light on and I'll show you my exercises? It'll probably work the best.
Well, we got to have room to do it. So what do you have there room?
Are you? Yeah, you got room, Jess?
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
God, look at that! What a pigsty! Clean that stuff.
So dirty here. All right, what are we doing first? Upper spinal? Or
Nope. Let's go to the young lady that was listening. Go ahead, Sally.
Let's go to the static extension position. So you want me to walk Jess through this? Is that the best way to do it?
Yeah, because there's going to be people down on the floor doing this. Including Tony in the grass would be good. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Hold on a second. I'm going to see how I can do it. So one of you guys is primary.
Or you just take me out of it completely and let these two go.
Well, I can do that, but then to do that, you're going to. Well, actually, we could do that, but then both of us are going to come off screen. I actually have to.
There you go. We can see Jess pretty good.
You and I are good off screen until as long as we can hear it.
Yep. Hold on. Let me see. I'm going to try to take you off screen. Just I don't know if I remove you.
Oh, if it's going to take me off completely.
Yeah, it might take you off completely.
If you want to put me, I'll do the
Hold
extra.
on. Let's see.
Sally can talk.
Can you still hear, Brian? Give me a thumbs up if you can still hear. All right, cool. So I'll take both of us off. Hold on a second. I'm off too. Wait, that is.
Okay, cool. So yeah, we're gonna go through something called the static extension position. So you can, you're gonna go on your hands and knees. So Jess, I want you to kneel, but I want you to be about hip width apart with your knees. There we go. Go a little bit more forward. There we go. So have your knees right underneath your hips. Okay, your feet are nice and relaxed. And you're in a square position. But what I want you to do now is move your hands about 3 inches forward. So walk your hands forward. Yep. Now what I want you to do is bring your upper body forward, right? So just your shoulders right over your wrist. Okay. So keep your elbows nice and locked. And then, and then I want you to let your head drop as far as it can go. And then I want you to almost like your shoulder blades coming together. So let your chest drop down to the ground. Yes. Yeah. Let your stomach go. Your low back is going to arch, but let it do it by default. So don't force the arch, but really focus on your elbows being locked, your shoulder blades coming down together, and let your head go. So what Jess is doing right here, she's really allowing for the natural S curve. She's stabilizing her upper body, especially in her shoulder blades, right? We carry a lot of stress and tension in the upper body. So the more that she's working to keep her shoulders back and her heads are heavy. So when you let your head go, you're really allowing some decompression to happen in your neck and your cervical spine. So let's keep holding this for maybe another 30 seconds. But when you get real comfortable with this, you want to hold it for maybe 2 minutes. All right, so the stomach's still relaxed, elbows are locked, head dropped. Jess, what are you feeling here?
For me, it's working my shoulders to kind of as they collapse. And then maybe I have to think about putting pressure, where to put my pressure in my hands when they're down on the ground.
Okay. You can open up your fingers. You can make sure you're loading, good on your thumb and all your fingers. Keep your elbows locked. While you're doing this, if you're trying this at home, just make sure you're not holding any extra tension. Just relax let your body fall into that natural S curve. If it's too much on your low back, if you experience low back pain, bring your hands further back to your knees. So you take away that pressure and you're still focused on that thoracic, your mid-back just unlocking but stabilizing. All right, Jess, you can come on out of here. Yep. Come on up and stand. We'll take a walk around. Tell me what feels different. So if you guys have tried this, you should feel totally different. So Jess, what do you feel going on?
I would say, I'll back up a bit. Right here, my shoulders definitely feel more open. Feel more weight in my feet. Equal weight in my feet. And probably some work right in my hips when I walk.
Awesome. So you've stabilized your hips, and us sitting at the computer or stress, we carry a lot of that upper body. So if we can open your pecs up and stabilize your back, right? You've got to strengthen that upper back in the right position so your chest doesn't always continuously move forward. Nice job.
Right now it's cats and dogs, I think, Sally.
Okay. So we're gonna
upper and spinal. Sorry. Was it?
Brian have a preference?
Upper spinal and I think cats and dogs.
You do cats and dogs last?
Yep.
Okay. So you want to go in upper spinal now?
Yep.
All right. So what you guys are going to do, what Jess is going to do, she's going to lie down on one side. Just pick either side. So she's lying down on her right side. So if you lie down on your right side, I want you to bend your knees. Bring your knees up to a 90 degree. So you're almost in a fetal position. All right. Knees stay stacked. Your head's relaxed on the ground. So your hands start together, palm to palm. Yep. What I want you to do, Jess, is I want you to take your top arm, your left arm, and rotate it up and over to the left. And make sure you anchor your knees with your right hand. So make sure those knees don't slide, okay? Bring your knees up a little higher towards your chest. There we go. So that, yep, and breathe. So your left arm is over, your palm is up, and your head is following. So you're rotating your neck to the left if you're able to do that. And breathe. So that top knee is pretty important that it doesn't slide away. So definitely keep those knees stacked. That creates a very stable pelvis. So when you do rotate off your hips, it's going to allow for you to get proper rotation through your spine. Right? Anybody. These are great for golfers, great for athletes, but really great for, someone like me and Jess. And, we're talking about Egoscue and women and being a mom or moms that breastfeed or stay tight through the chest. That just really opens up the upper body and creates more blood flow too. So you would hold this for 1 minute, which we're almost there. And then would close it up and do the same thing to the other side. Okay? Yeah, go ahead and close it up. So yeah, we would do this again to the left side. Yes, we'll flip you over. And again, if you're doing this with us, and if you need a head pad underneath your head, if it's too much on your neck, throw a pillow underneath there if you need it. Otherwise, just let it go. Yep, so knees are nice and stacked, 90-degree angle. That top arm is going to come up and over. Let your head follow. Knees stay together. Yep, you may notice that one side was a little different than the other, and that's okay. That's what we're working on, is to get the body to eventually do the same thing left to right. So again, just make sure you're breathing, and to get extra change here, right? We need to get more oxygen in your body. Is breathe through your belly. So when you inhale, push your belly out, and then exhale, let it fall. And then as you continue to breathe, almost focus on left to right, like an east to west breathing. So when you inhale, you want to push that air through your kidneys almost, right through your back. And then exhale, let it fall, and you'll start to feel that your right arm gets lower and lower to the ground. So again, this is great for pec release, proper rotation of the spine. Get your hips more in a neutral position. So if you have hip issues, this is going to help release the tightness in your hips as well. All right, Jess, after this last exhale, let's rotate back up and over, and we're going to close it up just to where we started. Nice.
I love that one. I get a nice little adjustment right in that lumbar back. It's delightful.
Yeah, you might get your own adjustment, your chiropractor adjustment there. Sure. Well, let's go into cats and dogs now, and then we can show. I know arm circles are tough. You want to go into cats and dogs? Yeah.
Yep.
So again, we're going to do hands and knees hip width apart, and your wrists are going to be right underneath your shoulders. All right, feet are nice and relaxed. You don't want to push with your toes. So here we go, first position. I'm going to I want you to tuck almost tucking your butt under, Jess, and push your spine all the way up toward the ceiling, like a C curve. So really push through, let your head drop, bring your chin toward your chest, really push your spine towards the ceiling. Good, elbows are nice and locked. Nice job. And then you're going to come back down to where you started, and then we're going to go even further. So as you come down, let your lower back drop. I want your shoulder blades to almost pin together again, back and down, and bring your head up to neutral. Nice. We'll hold this for a good second or two, and then we're going to go right back into the C curve. So you can see Jess, she has great pelvic movement. It's allowing her pelvis, almost like your core muscles, to function like they should, really releasing the upper back and the neck. Good job. And come back down. You hold each position for a couple seconds. Elbows are locked. Yes, shoulder blades back and down. Try to stay out of your neck here. It's easy to get into the neck, so stay out of there. Good. And we'll go all the way back up again. She's promoting proper range of motion all in her entire spine, from her neck to her lower back, with shoulder stability and hip stability. Good. Let's do one more, Jess. If you guys are doing this at home, do at least 10 of these. And you can incorporate your breathing as well. Exhale here, and inhale as you come down. Those shoulder blades will start to get closer and closer together, back and down. There you go. The more you do that. Nice job, Jess. Yep, when you're ready, we'll stand to your feet.
But my glasses on, I can't see you all.
Okay. Hey, are we gonna do arm circles?
I can do it. I'll tilt it up a bit.
Okay.
I know Brian said we weren't.
What he said not to do.
We'll keep going.
Well, he said not to do arm circles. What are we doing? Elbow curls? Let's do elbow curls.
Elbow curls? Okay.
Yeah. So you're going to stand with your feet straight, hip width apart. So look down and make sure your feet are straight. Yep. Perfect. And we're going to do golfer's grip with your hands. See my hands? You're bringing your finger in so your palm's nice and open. And then you're going to place your knuckles on your temples. So the first two knuckles right there on your temples, and keep your thumbs down the entire time. And what you're going to do is bring your elbows back, and then you're going to bring your elbows all the way around to touch if you can. Nice job. And come all the way back. So as you're going, just make sure the wrist and the forearm stays nice and linear. You don't want to bend from the wrist at all. Good. Make sure you're breathing. So again, this is going to unlock any tightness that you have in the upper body. But remember, when you change your upper body, your mid-back and your neck, that can take 20 to 30 pounds of leverage off of your lumbar spine. So this is great for low back tightness, low back pain as well. Yep. And if you want to make these even better, you don't have to do it right now, but you can do these up against a wall. So you'd have your heels, your butt, and your head up against the wall. And you would do 25 of these. Nice job, Jess.
Is there a speed, Sally, that people should go?
Yeah, you want to keep it controlled. So you don't want to go too fast because you'll start to cheat and you'll start to compensate. So, allow your body to get the proper range of motion, but in the right position. So you're not cheating through it. So your pace is good right here. Yeah, it's more about function, not about just getting through it. Yeah, nice job. After this one, you can relax. Good. Now you should feel different. You should walk around and see what's different with your body.
I would say my foot strike is different. I like to toe off a lot, so I can definitely feel more heel ball toe through my foot.
That's awesome. So it opened up your upper body, and see how it makes you feel better here, but it could totally help someone with plantar fasciitis or bunions, right? Changes the position all the way down.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But that's what's cool, that your whole body is connected from head to toe, and it should work as a unit.
That's amazing, ladies.
Woo!
Thank you for that.
Sweating. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, thank you for that. It's great. I actually had to move a little bit because it started to rain. Even though the sun is behind me, it started to rain. I had to move it. But that was awesome. I mean, those are all great exercises. The one where you lay down, I forget what was the name of it, where you kind of rotate.
Upper spinal.
Oh, upper
I
spinal.
know that one is great too. I love getting those self-chiropractic adjustments in my lower back. So that's a great one as well. So I hope everybody that's watching is tried that, or go back and rewatch it and try that, because all these little exercises, Brian is tired of hearing me say this, but when I explain what Egoscue is, and I call Brian the magician, because when I was first exposed to this, it's like magic. These simple exercises can alleviate pain to the degree that it does without medication. It's amazing. It's amazing. So it's like magic. You guys are you ladies are all magicians.
I'm going to say just two things that I think are super important to this entire talk, and it'll keep us. The first one is when you guys were talking you couldn't hear us, and I'm going, do the arm circles, and you're like, well, but you told me to, but I didn't want to. None of you two ever listen to anything that I said. You're pretending now. Number two, this is why God gave women childbirth, because Tony's complaining about getting wet in the rain. Oh, it's raining. And the girls would be like this. Well, that was lightning. It struck right there. Let's go until it gets a little bit closer.
I keep my kids outside unless I hear thunder. Play on in the rain.
all the time. That's too funny, Brian. You're a piece of work. Listen, this is always so much fun, and I encourage everyone to continue to watch this, go through it again, share it with your friends. It's so important to keep yourselves, like I said, self-care is so immensely important, especially when you're out there doing work, helping other people do what they do. But for all of us, it's important to take care of ourselves, take care of our bodies. This is the only vessel that we get. We don't get another one, and we don't get a second chance to live our whole life again. So if you want to live your best life, if you want to live to your capacity, you need to take care of the temple that is your body. And if you're in pain, then you can't enjoy it. If you're in pain, you can't be there and show up, as I was saying before, not to beat a dead horse. Not that I beat dead horses. But
I just joined from Siri Lindy. I just joined her, quit having horses for dinner, whatever the heck that was, and I signed the petition and donated. So don't make me call Siri so she kicks your butt.
Oh, listen, when she first posted it, I was on there, so I'm down with that for sure. But seriously, not to it can't be overstated. Where self-care is not selfish. You've got to take care of yourself. Take care of, again, if you don't take care of number one ain't going to be number one. True. And you can't take care of people if you're not at your best. You can't take care of yourself. You can't really be in a joyful, happy, beautiful state if you're always in pain or if you're struggling with whatever you're struggling with. So take care of yourself. And if anybody tells you different, stop listening to that somebody. Maybe that's one of those people that you need to be like, no, we're not going out for dinner. Maybe coffee. Start spending less time with the people that are not serving you. Listen, with that said, I honor you ladies, and it's all about small business. I encourage and I support small business. I support certainly women-owned businesses as well. And I think that I think all small businesses are important, and I think that we need more of them. And the fact that you guys are out there taking care of yourselves and taking care of each other, taking care of other people, pivoting and doing what you have to do in business is an absolute shining example of what needs to be done. So I honor you. I thank you. I thank you for your time, because again, knowing that our time is our most valuable asset, and once we give it away, that's the one thing we cannot recover. So thank you for your time, ladies. I really appreciate it. Thank you for what you do for your families, what you do for your communities, what you're doing for the world. Same thing with you, Brian. And by the way, I'm going to close up the show just because we're at the top of the hour, but don't you guys go anywhere. Just hang out here for a minute. So everyone, thank you again. And any parting words, by the way, from the Brian Bradley or Sally or Jesselyn. By the way, obviously you can go to Egoscue.com, but is there somewhere specific, Sally, that people can go to find you, and Jesselyn, that they can go and find you?
Yeah. So as far as social media, we're on all platforms. Yeah. So just Egoscue of Atlanta. That's where you can find us.
And Jesselyn?
We have 2 offices in Florida. So you can find me at Egoscue of Palm Beach Gardens or Egoscue of Tampa. So we're Florida.
I want to be careful too about, stalkers that these two could end up with, like that Calvin guy that was typing some stuff in there. So make sure that he,
I'll take care of that.
If he wouldn't have stalked me, I would have killed him. Okay.
So everyone, thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you for joining, for those of you who are watching live, for those of you who are watching the recordings. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your questions. Thank you for your energy. And thank you for sharing these videos. Thank you for the commitment that you're making to yourself to show up, to live your best life and to do the best you can for yourself, for your family, and your community. And remember, my friends, that life is not about how many times you fall. It's about getting up after every fall. You fall down 7 times, you get up 8. And it's in falling down that we learn. It's in getting up that we grow. And every single time we fall, we have the opportunity to get up and grow we must. Appreciate all of you. Thank you for watching. And I will see you guys on Monday for Marketing Mondays with the great Scott Martin. Thank you again. Ciao for now.